Okay, surprise here with the pick that my favorite team decided to select in the first round. I thought they were going to go with Jahad Campbell. I was excited for Jahad Campbell. Ultimately, they decide to go offense here and get Emeka Egbuka. And listen, Jason Light knows receivers are how you win Super Bowls. When the Buccaneers won a Super Bowl, it was on the strength of their receiving core, among other things. But the receiving core was awesome, right? One of the all-time great receiving cores, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown's. I'm not expecting Egbuka to become Brown, but hopefully, for his sake, that doesn't happen. But ultimately, I'm very much surprised because you also have Jalen McMillan, so it's a bit of a loaded group. But Kyle and I did a mock draft yesterday, and I ended up going receiver. It was Matthew Golden, but I ended up going receiver here, kind of with the logic of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans aren't getting any younger, and quite frankly, you're still going to have other receivers get snaps. McMillan can still get snaps, right, as wide receiver 4. Why not load up on a strength? It's interesting. Again, not what I thought they were going to go here, but ultimately, it's a passing league, and Jason Light, I think he probably just likes the player. I like the player too, and I notoriously undervalue Ohio State receivers, so I'm certainly excited. Listen, my favorite team drafted a receiver in round 1. I'm going to be excited about it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the pick. Now let's talk about the player himself. Let's get into the film. So let's start off with this play. It's going to be a route where he's going to try and get into a gap in coverage, sort of in between two safeties who are deep here. It's cover 2 zone, so okay, getting to that opportunity could be very good. And this is a lot of what you see from Egbuka here. Watch how when this play begins, you're going to see that he, starts off going more over the middle, and it's not always the fanciest of route running. And to be honest, this is an Ohio State thing, is they don't always have the players go crazy with, some of their moves. In fact, a lot of times they kind of coach their guys, just get to your spot. And I think in the past, I have misevaluated Ohio State receivers because of this. I was lower on Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave than I should have been because I saw this stuff on tape. I'm like, well, is it as impressive? But ultimately, you start to realize, oh, this is actually a trend, and this is maybe a coaching thing. Although watch how, you're going to see Egbuka show off his speed and also be able to make a catch in traffic there, which is not easy to do. So he still shows off some really nice attributes on this play. And ultimately, being able to find a gap is very important. Yes, part of it is, because of the coaching and because there are, holes in the defense. But ultimately, he's able to find the gap and able to make this play work. And I would still say he does some really nice things even with his route running. Like this play, for example, it's going to be a zone coverage concept, and you see where Egbuka's route is going to be on this play. It's going to be, a route where he's going to go eventually towards the sideline, towards the bottom of the screen. And again, it's zone coverage, right? Which means you have a lot of players who could be paying attention to him. So when this play begins, watch how he runs the route. Again, not selling what he's doing, which is really important. The route running aspect of this play still does matter, and he's doing a good job of not selling what he's doing. And then watch how he's able to very smoothly cut. He gets open, and they're able to make a throw, make a completion work. So, again, this is just what I like about him, is ultimately he checks every box. There isn't really something you look at and say, oh, well, that's a weakness in his game. He can make this work in zone. He can make it work in man as well. Like, for example, this play, that's going to be kind of what he does here, where it's a one-on-one matchup. He is the slot receiver on this play, which, hey, that's important as well, I think. He is someone who can play every position. You can have him play outside if you want. You can bring him into the slot if you want. Here, he's playing the slot. Watch as when this play begins, you see him fight for that inside leverage and gets it, and that's very important. He did it in a way where he's not fully selling, though, that he's about to cut over the middle. He could be running further deep. He could be being extra creative and going toward the outside. We, of course, know that's not what's happening. Watch as he does cut over the middle. Ball goes somewhere else, but there was a window there for him, right? I mean, he can definitely win in these situations. I'm not saying it was wide open, but there was a window for him, and, this kind of stuff will play at the next level. It could be simple stuff like this, where it's essentially like what the Chiefs like to do. Back when I had Tyreek Hill, I felt like they ran this play like 8 times a game. Not really, but they would do it in key spots. The Chad Henne to Tyreek Hill play I remember in the playoffs was something similar to this, where you have both receivers who are lined up closest towards the sideline, run routes, just trying to clear out the area for, in this case, Egbuka, who's going to be running more towards the sideline. He is the one who I have circled in white, and just watch him. Watch these, takes a couple steps up, moves his feet so much, but ultimately when he cuts, he's able to get to his spot quickly. Because again, you don't want to do too much into selling what you could be doing, and then, when you don't cut well enough and essentially just waste time. That is not what he does. Quickly gets to what he has to do, but still does it in a way to, make it difficult on the defense. These are the things that you just like about him. And ultimately, something like this, which is just, he just gets open. Like, ultimately, when you watch him, he just constantly, in position to potentially make a play. This play, going to be going over the middle against zone coverage. Watch how when it begins, you see how he's going to, as of right now, essentially just get into his spot. And a lot of people might say, well, that's the Ohio State scheme. But again, these other receivers that have come from Ohio State have been successful. So, I don't know why it wouldn't be successful with him, because it was successful with other guys, right? Here, the ball doesn't come to him. He does still make an effort to block down the field, so that's good to see. Definitely want to see that. I will say, the blocking is not his selling point. Really good receiver, does a lot very well. I think I said he checks every box earlier, but I'm strictly talking about every box when it comes to receiving, because when it comes to blocking, well, I'll just show you. I mean, it's not his game. You see one-on-one matchup right here. It's going to be it's not a running play, but it is a quick halfback screen. And as you see, I mean, he's not gonna make the block. Ultimately, lets that play get blown up. The blocking wasn't spectacular with Egbuka, and that is something he'll have to work on at the next level, because ultimately, teams do want your receivers to block, even your slot receivers. And sometimes your slot receivers have to block more because you're just in that area, right? So, whatever he's going to end up playing, he is going to have to at least get to competent. You don't have to be great as a receiver blocking, but you have to be competent, so he'll have to work on that. But ultimately, there is a lot to like about Egbuka, and I would definitely bank on him working at the next level. But ultimately, that is what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.